Next here tonight to the Hardee County grandmother, now set to go on trial Monday for leaving her granddaughter inside a hot car. That 7-month-old baby died.
I-Team reporter Kayla Nicks was the first to sit down with the child's mother nearly 2 years ago. That's when she revealed this is her second child to die under her mother's care. In an interview you will see here first, we reconnected with Kayla Nicks, who says she now wants justice.
Wauchula is a small town where everyone knows everybody, but few can imagine the grief Kayla Nicks is feeling. It was her mother who left her 7-month-old daughter Uriel in the backseat of an SUV in November of 2022. We sat down with Kayla days ahead of her mother's trial for aggravated manslaughter. Where is your mindset at this moment?
I think overwhelmed would be probably the very best word I would have. And no matter where this goes, this is not going to be a win for me. This is a lose, lose, lose for me.
2 of Kayla's children died under her mother Tracey's care.
And they were taken by somebody that we believed was worthy of trust.
We first met with Kayla and her now husband Drew in the spring of 2023, 3 months after Uriel's death.
A little girl. How do you forget a little girl?
According to court records, on November 1st, 2022, Kayla was going to get her hair done and asked her mom to babysit. Tracey met with friends for lunch, drove home, and forgot her granddaughter in the back seat with the windows rolled up. She went inside, talked to her dog, and practiced the piano. When one of her grandsons arrived, it came across her head that Uriel was in the back seat all afternoon. Her husband immediately began CPR. Temperatures in Wauchula that day reached 90 degrees. Uriel died. She was 7 months old. But less than a year earlier, 3 days before Christmas 2021, 16-month-old Ezra, Uriel's brother, also died while under his grandmother Tracey's care.
911, where is your emergency?
That's a little baby. The grand CP. Is he breathing? No.
And
Yeah.
they're not sure how long.
No.
The state attorney's office did not file any charges, telling us in cases involving the accidental drowning of a toddler, Florida appellate courts have stated that a one-time lapse of judgment would not establish culpable negligence of the caretaker. Under the judge's instructions, Kayla's son's death will not be mentioned during her mother's aggravated manslaughter trial. What does justice look like?
A real ownership of what has happened. I want ownership of the incidences that occurred. I don't think I've ever asserted that there was a malicious intent. I don't think I've ever asserted that anyone set out to create this situation, but it did happen.
Do you want your mother to spend any time in prison?
The mother in me, as I've said before, requires justice for my kid. The mother in me requires justice for my daughter. But there's a 5-year-old that lives in me still that doesn't want bad things for my mom. I don't want it. I don't want to watch it. I don't want to be a part of it. I don't want any more hurt.
Since we first met with Kayla and Drew, they've welcomed a new baby girl, Adriel, who is 4 months old.
But when I look at her, it is inescapable to see her brother and her sister. And there's beautiful things and there's painful things in that, because it's a fresh start and it's a beautiful blessing. I am standing up for my daughter. I'm standing up for Uriel. She deserves a voice. And that is the only thing I can give her now. I can't give her a bath. I can't take her to school. I can't trust her. So I can stand up for her. I have to live with me when this is done. I have to be able to live with myself. And I can only do that if I stand up for my daughter.
Jury selection is expected to begin on Monday. Kayla tells us she is prepared to be called as a witness for the prosecution. In Wauchula, with photojournalist Randy Wright, I'm I-Team reporter Kayla Nicks taking action for you.
Kylie, thank you. Meanwhile, our I-team contacted the state prosecutor and Nix's defense attorney, who both declined to comment before the trial.
And we're told if found guilty, Nix could be sentenced to between 12 and 30 years in prison.